transport like that.
That is accurate.
Was one of these guys confirmed a validated Ghostface gangster?
We did have one that was a validated gang member. Yes, sir.
Are you focusing on possible Ghostface gangster connections on the street?
At this time, everything is open, and the sheriff is leading that investigation.
Did the officers wear ballistic vests?
Can you tell us which one was the gangster?
They do not have ballistic vests on. They do carry weapons.
Can you tell us which one was the gangster?
At this time, we'll release that as soon as we can.
Also, you talked earlier about gave us a little bit more about the victims, the corrections officers who were killed, and have some information.
Yes.
Do you know their ages?
Yes. Officer Monica was with us for 8 years. He was 42 years of age. He leaves behind a wife. Officer Ballou was with us for 10 years. He was 58 years of age, and he leaves behind a father, a brother, and a sister. Please be with those family members. Sir? I have spoken to Officer Ballou's families, and I have not yet gotten in touch with Officer Monica's families, but we have had other officials at both of their houses working with them, and they're dealing with it the best they can at this point.
I have 2 questions for you. One is sort of what you did. Can you release some pictures of those 2 folks?
We have released those pictures. Yes, sir.
Second question is, let's go back to the bus for a second. Explain to us, you had 33 inmates in the bus. How did the inmates get from the secure area to the driver's section where the pilot is?
That is the primary part of this investigation, to figure that out.
Any idea at all?
Do not have any at this point.
Is an older bus typically locked?
Yes, that gate is typically locked.
So it should have been locked.
Yes, sir.
And at some point, they managed to get through the gate and open part of the bus.
That's what it appears.
Is this an older bus? An older
No.
vehicle?
Do y'all know the age of the bus?
2015.
2015 bus.
2015.
Yes, sir.
Is that an example of the bus, or is that the bus itself?
Yes, that's a good example.
That's an example. It is not the bus.
So are there cameras on the bus?
Somebody help me out. Are the
Yes,
cameras?
there are cameras on the bus, and we're trying to review that now. We know who did this. We've got a crime scene. We've got a mobile crime scene. You know, the importance of us looking at that video is not our importance right. What's important to us right now? What's important to us right now is finding these 2 escaped dangerous convicts.
I will say, do you have the video? Releasing it would be helpful.
I will not release it. It's going to be evidence in this case, and it will not be released.
Can you talk about the cooperation?
The bus has been moved from the scene.
Cooperation from the other inmates and how they helped you?
The most vital information that I obtained, I was one of the first people on the scene, came from an inmate, obviously.
Sheriff, did the perpetrators leave these other inmates, these 31, locked up, or were they?
They were still sitting on the bus. The door was closed. When we arrived on the scene, we had to force entry into the bus.
The inmates were on the bus at the time of the shooting?
Yes.
Was this a crime of opportunity, or was it not out in plain?
We don't know that at this time.
Sheriff, where are you guys
Where are they
searching?
going from there?
We are searching everywhere in America. One of these individuals is from Madison County, Georgia, in the Coma area. We know the other one is originally from Middle Tennessee, and that's what we know. There's sheriffs, police officers, United States Marshals, FBI agents fanning out all over this nation right now, interviewing people related to this incident. No, they did not. They got the victim of the carjacking cell phone. They threw it out on the side of the road. We located it, and my detectives have actually found it.
So you don't believe they have anything other than the guns in their uniform?
Not at this time, that's all I know.
And again, they could be headed anywhere.
They could be headed anywhere. That goes without saying. They went west towards Eatonton at 6:45 this morning, okay? They're obviously what prisoners do when they escape like this. They break into homes. The first thing they're going to get is clothes, and we're looking for incidents like that have occurred here in Middle Georgia right now first.
Have you had any reported sightings?
Not at this time.
Can you talk about the transportation a little bit more? Was this a planned trip? Did they have any idea that they were going to be going on a bus and having this, I guess, opportunity?
Today was a typical transport day. The offenders do not know when they're being transported, so they would not have known that. A question earlier was, where were they going from? They were not coming from a county jail as mentioned. They were leaving the state prison in Hancock to go toward Jackson to our diagnostic facility, which is a hub to go to another facility.
Could you talk a little bit more about this possible white supremacist gang? I assume it's Du Bois because he's the one that's got the tattoos on him. Are we concerned that he could be getting some assistance from outside about that?
I cannot at this time, and there's no indications that that has anything to do with this at this time. We're still investigating.
Is there reason to believe they may have got help from the outside at all?
Not at this time. We just don't know. We're investigating this. It doesn't look like, you know, there's certainly no connection between the victim of the carjacking, so therefore, you know, that was opportunistic at some point in time. I'm not going to tell you that they didn't plan to escape today, but we don't have any information about that at this time.
Sheriff, any message for those on the run if they are perhaps listening to you on the radio or watching you on TV?
As I've said earlier, they need to surrender before we find them.
Can you talk about your initial reaction when you first came on the scene? What did you see? What?
I saw two brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw. I have their blood on my shoes. Now we're going to go in. I'm not coming back out unless I have something new to tell you. I'm going to send somebody out with a photograph of this vehicle in about 10 minutes. An actual photograph of this vehicle.
Thank you.
Could you get your name and title?
My name is Greg Dozier, D-O-Z-I-E-R, and I'm the Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Corrections.